Hey guys, today I have some pretty big news. Over the last few weeks, I've been talking about my next album in my recent community posts. And then this past Friday, I finally announced the album title, album cover, and the release date. I truly believe that this album will be different from anything you've heard before. So let me explain why, and you're going to want to keep watching. So I'm just going to read what I wrote here from my screen. I'm not even going to pretend to have memorized this. So first, a bit of backstory. Last summer, I released my first album, Fantasies For Sunset. Then last December, I released an EP titled Deep Nights. It was the sequel to Fantasies For Sunset. Deep Nights is an extension of Fantasies For Sunset. They go together, they tell one story, but Deep Nights was just a 4-track EP. It was never meant to be a large-scale release. It was just an interlude between two albums. The first album was Fantasies For Sunset, and the second album, my upcoming release, is titled Fantasies For Sunrise. Deep Nights was just a bridge between the two. Also, I have mentioned this before, but don't worry. My face is a bit red at the moment because I was in a bike crash a while ago, but I'll be fine. Don't worry. Okay, back to Fantasies For Sunrise. I started this album quite a while ago, last July, before I had even released Fantasies For Sunset. And in a moment, I'll explain to you what makes it so special, why I truly believe this album is different from anything you've heard before. But first, here's the album artwork, designed by me and produced by AI. Fantasies For Sunrise is scheduled to be released this summer on July 13th. And now, just going back to reading off my screen, because I am way too lazy to memorize any of this. In the past, as you may have been able to tell, my music has been calm, quiet, slow, and has generally trended towards being sad. But Fantasies For Sunrise is the exact opposite. It's loud, exciting, jazzy, and fast-paced. It's about looking forward to the next chapter in your life, stepping into a brighter future. And if I could define the difference between Fantasies For Sunset and Fantasies For Sunrise in one sentence, it would be dreaming about the past versus dreaming about the future. That one sentence is really important. It's really what this whole musical series is about, that I've been working on for a year and a half. It was the core idea behind everything. Fantasies For Sunrise is a fusion of jazz, pop, rock, classical, and film music, all fit into one album, and produced in a solo piano framework. And personally, I've never heard an album like that before. I've heard some of these styles in the same album, but most albums do tend to stick with one style, and I've definitely never heard this specific mixture in one album, and absolutely never heard this mixture of styles all together written for solo piano. That just doesn't happen with piano music, and that's why I wanted to do something completely new, something that I really have not seen anywhere else. And the thing about this album is that it's not just completely separate tracks. Each track is significant and unique and interesting on its own, but it's how the whole album fits together. It's how each piece forms a whole all together, and that is what makes this album different from anything I've heard before. It's really the overall experience that's important. Lastly, I know the release date for this album is in the middle of July, and that's still a few months away. Therefore, I have decided to release 2 singles beforehand, one in May and one in June. The first single, Conqueror, Conqueror, because that one is really difficult to pronounce clearly, is coming May 11th. It is a double single, and it consists of a piano track and an orchestral version of the same track. And it's also my first time officially releasing an orchestral piece, so I can't wait to share it and see what you think. This album has been a huge project, and I'm really excited to share it. So please subscribe, turn on all notifications, and most importantly, make sure to check out my community tab on my channel. I actually am most active via community posts, so this is where I will mostly be providing news on my upcoming album. So if you want to hear about what's going on and what's going to come up next, just keep up to date on my community tab. Thank you very much for watching.